In this video, we will talk about the Namestyle rule you must follow when forming a licensed clinical social worker corporation. I'm Andy, the Incorporation Attorney. Thanks for watching. So you decided to form your professional licensed clinical social worker corporation. What are the first few steps? Well, one of the first things you must do is prepare the Articles of Incorporation. And of course, the Articles of Incorporation cannot be drafted until a name is chosen for your corporation. Now, unlike what you may have learned from your Google research, there are several types of corporations, and they each come with their own set of formation rules. One type of corporation is the general stock corporation. We would use this type of corporation if we wanted to set up an auto mechanic shop, restaurant, or online business. Another type of corporation is a professional corporation. This type is used by doctors, lawyers, and licensed clinical social workers. Now, an important thing for you to know is that there are different rules for naming a general stock corporation versus a professional corporation. So let's discuss that a bit. Let's first talk about general stock corporations. When we are forming general stock corporations, the choice of name is pretty much up to you, as long as the name is not likely to mislead the public or resemble too closely some other corporate name that already exists on file with the state. The name selected generally may not include words such as bank, trust or trustee, industrial loan, investment and loan, thrift, or the words cooperative or Olympic or Olympia. With general stock corporations, the name selected need not include words that indicate corporate designation, such as Incorporated, Inc., Corporation, or Corp. So let's turn to the professional corporations. The rules for professional corporations are more complicated than those for general stock corporations. The Namestyle rules are specific to the particular kind of license that you hold and for each kind of professional corporation. Keep in mind that these rules also affect all of the corporate formation paperwork that you need to put together while creating your corporation. These corporate name requirements are regulated by the California Corporations Code, Business and Professions Code, and the California Code of Regulations. When we are specifically considering clinical social worker corporations, the name is also regulated by the California Board of Behavioral Sciences. So if you're doing this legal work yourself, all of these sources must be checked to make sure that the particular corporate name selected will satisfy the various requirements of the state codes and agency rules. I cannot tell you how many clients we've run across that have been forced to redraft all of their corporate formation documents simply because they did not follow the Namestyle rules of their particular profession. So don't make that mistake. For licensed clinical social workers, it is critical to note that the California Board of Behavioral Sciences takes the position that it is unprofessional conduct not to follow the particular Namestyle rules for your profession. It's not a defense to an accusation brought against you by the board to say that, well, I've seen other therapists do it. It's like if you were stopped by the highway patrol for speeding and it just doesn't matter how fast everyone else is driving when you're the person who's lit up with the dreaded red light. Remember, it's your professional license. So what are the specific Namestyle rules for a licensed clinical social worker? It all boils down to a set of defined words that must be included in your corporate name. So what are those rules? The name of a clinical social worker corporation shall contain the words, I'm not putting these in quotes because we need these 4 words to appear, licensed clinical social worker, together with words or abbreviations denoting corporate existence. So what if you want to have a DBA that is different than your corporate name? Can you do that? The answer is yes, you can, but there is a rule for that as well. A clinical social worker corporation that conducts business under a fictitious business name cannot use any name that is false, misleading, or deceptive. And any name or names under which it may be rendering professional services shall contain the words licensed clinical social worker, and the therapist must inform the patient prior to the commencement of treatment that the business is being conducted by a licensed clinical social worker corporation. For example, let's say that you're Wilma Flintstone, a licensed clinical social worker. You could have the corporate name Wilma Flintstone, LCSW, a licensed clinical social worker corporation. You could then apply for a DBA with the fictitious name W. Flintstone, licensed clinical social worker, so long as you inform each patient prior to the commencement of treatment that the business is being conducted by a clinical social worker corporation. So what are the key takeaways? Getting lost in the minutiae of Namestyle rules for professional corporations is just one of the 49 different ways that you can get tangled up on the formation of your corporation if you tackle it yourself. Make sure you use the corporate name and make sure that you use all of the required keywords when you're forming your corporation. Make sure your corporate name has the correct corporate designator. So what's my advice in forming professional corporations? I would strongly urge you to retain the services of a corporate attorney specializing in the formation of corporations to make sure that you get this correct. I hope this information helps you get your new practice started off on the right foot. I'm Andy, the Incorporation Attorney. Thanks for watching.